Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. Oh, see you later, Spurs. Take care on your bike. Go on back to White Hart Lane. Oh, no, you can't go back to White Hart Lane. It's been absolutely demolished. What am I going on about? But go back to Wembley with a bit more woes in your face because you have been beaten by the Arsenal. And it feels so good. We've actually won the North London Derby. How have we done that? How have Arsenal actually managed to do that? Oh my days, oh my days. I'm joking by the way. You know, I apologise to any Spurs fans that I have offended. You know, GG, you played very, very well. We just played better than you really, and you know, fair enough, good game at the end of the day, but like I said, we actually won the North London Derby. Do you know what? I actually called it. I will get to that in a minute, but welcome back to probably the most happiest and exciting Analysing Arsenal that you are going to see so far, because today I could be happy. There's no ranting, there's no raving, you know, there's no angriness whatsoever. I will be raving later on tonight, but not in that way, like raving in kind of the negative context. But yeah, welcome back to Analysing Arsenal. These are my thoughts and feelings to the game at the Emirates Stadium, which was the incredible North London Derby. Red against white. It is the battle and power of North London as Arsenal take on Tottenham Hotspur in a game which nobody actually expected Arsenal to actually win. Everyone was saying, you know, Tottenham were going to win, you know, Arsenal was just going to be a pushover. And how wrong were they? Arsenal have not just won this game, but they've been they battered Spurs from start to finish. We've actually won against a big team, and I'm so proud of the boys. I'm just so happy, really. I'm really happy. I'm so kind of, you know, on one hand happy, but there's an element of frustration. I'll get to that in a second. But like, there are games as a football fan that kind of, you know, games that you relish and games that if you win, it kind of makes your weekend. And there are just kind of a handful of teams that it feels bittersweet when you actually beat them. The North London Derby is the cream of the crop. Like, that is the game that, like, you just want to win. Like, if you lose it, it ruins your weekend. If you win, it makes your weekend. It's a game that nobody wants to lose. And Arsenal have actually managed to win this one. They've come out the better side. Again, as I said earlier, I've actually called it. I said to myself, and I was saying all week that I had a good feeling. I was saying to my mates, I said to my dad, I woke up this morning sorting out my Living in the Prem episode that's just gone out. Thank you for also for the support that you're showing on that right now. Absolutely smashing it, you guys, you fans. It's just absolutely amazing. But I said to my dad, I've got a good feeling about this game. Like, I don't know why. There were just moments where I woke up and thought, I'm nervous because I don't want us to get absolutely rolled over, but in kind of the pit of my stomach, I just had a good feeling that today was going to be a good performance for the boys, and I actually called it. Not only did I call that, but when the first goal went in, as he was stepping up for the free kick, I turned over and leaned over to my dad, and I said, I bet you this is going to be a goal. And it actually went in, and I was just like, I'm just on one. You know, I called that it was going to be 2 minutes. And just most of the things that I was saying actually happened, which is quite, you know, where I sit at the telly, making suggestions and saying, you know, am I going to call this, and end up, you know, not calling it. So, very happy with that. In terms of the lineups today, I think Arsene Wenger really did well with his team selection. We've got to give Arsene Wenger so much praise. He deserves so much praise in the accolades, not just for the way that he sent out those players, but his team selection, his tactics were absolutely spot on. The only change I would have made is I would have played Wilshere instead of Ramsey. I think Wilshere, particularly for North London Derby, is always up for these kind of games, and I think that, you know, playing Jack Wilshere in the game would have given Arsenal a bit more firepower. But actually, what turned out that Ramsey and Xhaka had an absolute blinding game, so it didn't really matter. It was so nice though to see Ozil, Sanchez, and Lacazette up top as a front three. They scared the living Jesus out of Tottenham Hotspur. Eric Dyer had an absolute... He was dire at the back. I know, I've said it, I've made the joke. You got to deal with it. I've made the Dyer joke. Ozil, Sanchez and Lacazette had Dyer in their back pocket for most of the game. You know, Sanchez beat Sanchez. Like, seriously, Davinson Sanchez did not do well against Alexis Sanchez. And Mesut Ozil, we will get on to how great Mesut Ozil was. But what I have to say is congratulations and well done to every single one of those Arsenal players. I've said before that every single one of those Arsenal players when we've lost games should be ashamed of themselves. Every single one of those Arsenal players should be incredibly proud of what they've done this afternoon. That is the performance that I come to expect, and that is what I want to see every single week from Arsenal. Passion, determination, fight, spirit, hunger, you know, a willingness to get the ball back when they're not on the ball, you know, track back, mark your runners, you know, just the basic things that Arsenal have lacked time and time again, and the reason that has been subsequently allowing us to lose games. These are the type of games where, you know, if you don't work back, if you don't track back, if you don't put in everything that you've got, and, you know, you're not ruthless where you go forward, and you also do well, you know, trying to win the ball back, then you are going to lose. Arsenal did everything right. They did not put one foot wrong. Petr Cech, when he was called into action, which was a couple of times here and there, he was absolutely outstanding. You know, Mustafi, Monreal, Koscielny, fantastic. Kolasinac, Bellerin, superb. Xhaka, Ramsey, just powerful, dominant, and just so intrusive in that midfield. They closed down Spurs, they broke up play, they did really, really well. And the front three, Sanchez, I mean, we've got to keep him. We've got to keep Alexis Sanchez. He is a beautiful, beautiful man. Some of the stuff that he did out there was literally, like, the literal definition of the word filthy. He was absolutely filthy out there. Lacazette, just, he didn't actually score, but he had a couple of really good chances, and some of his movement and his build-up play and some of the ways that he was moving around, absolutely brilliant. Man of the match, Mesut Ozil. Where has that Mesut Ozil been for the whole season? That is what Mesut Ozil can do, and that makes him a world-class player if he plays like that. He was absolutely sensational. We know how good he is on the ball. He can find balls, he can assist, he can, you know, create chances. We know he's good at that. But coming back, every time he lost the ball, he was running back. He looked quicker, faster, stronger. He was winning the ball back, and his work rates today was absolutely incredible. And I've criticised Ozil's work rates time and time and time again. Today, it was second to none. He came off with a standing ovation. He was absolutely superb. He was brilliant, and that is what Mesut Ozil can do. And as I'm going to get on to kind of in a minute of why I get so frustrated is where has that Mesut Ozil been time and time again. He was absolutely brilliant. The two goals that we scored, the first goal came in from a free kick, a challenge, Davinson Sanchez on Alexis Sanchez. I thought it was a foul, incidentally. It could be, it's one of those which could have gone 50-50. Sanchez was on the ball, Davinson Sanchez put his leg out, he clipped Alexis Sanchez, he went, you know, down, and it's one of those where you think it could have gone 50-50, you know. Coincidentally, if I was a Tottenham supporter, then I'd look at that and say, oh, it was just a, you know, a harsh challenge, you know, Sanchez making more of that than it was. But I do think it was a foul. There was contact, he got the ball, but he also got the man, and in, you know, the referee's jurisdiction, that is a free kick. Mustafi was a yard offside, you know, as the ball went in, he went for the header, clipped the post, and then went in. He was a yard offside, I'm not going to lie, he was just offside, but that's what happens in the Premier League. You get decisions that go, you know, against you and for you, like against Manchester City. You know, we had the third goal that Manchester City scored was offside. But what you have to bear in mind is that the reason why I didn't get upset about that is because even if Manchester City hadn't scored that goal, they still would have won. They were the better team than Tottenham Hotspur. And even if that goal didn't go in, you know, they still would have won, in my opinion, and they deserved to win the game 100%. You know, I don't think it would have impacted on the result. Again, if that goal was given offside, we still would have scored. We were much better than Tottenham Hotspur today. Spurs had a couple of really good, decent chances, may I say, but Arsenal controlled the game, dominated the game in the first half, controlled the game in the second half. We were better than them, and we deserved to win. They didn't deserve to score, nor did they deserve to get anything out of that game, so the offside is irrelevant, personally. The second goal, that came in, beautiful build-up play from Xhaka, down, out wide into Bellerin. He slots it in, and you know, you could argue Bellerin then goes into Lacazette. Lacazette, again, I don't think he's offside. He's about a yard offside, maybe. I don't know. On this one, it's a bit more questionable. I'm not too sure. It's such a tight decision. The first one, I definitely think was offside. The second one, I'm not too sure about. But Lacazette gets it, passes it into Alexis Sanchez. Hugo Lloris comes out. Sanchez just toys with him, gets into position, and then just smashes it into the roof of the goal. I think Lloris could have done better. He could have, like, you know, got down onto the floor and, you know, try to scour it quickly. You know, maybe he could have done a bit more to try and stop Sanchez, but it was just a fantastic goal. 2-0 up, we scored in the 36th minute, 5-minute spell, get 2 goals. You know, we were dominating the first half. Spurs had a couple of decent opportunities, but it was mainly Arsenal controlling the game, winning the ball back in the middle, defending really well, and then going on the counter-attack, and we scared the pants of the Tottenham Hotspur. It reminded me quite similarly of the game last season at the Emirates where we dispatched Chelsea by 3-0. The season before that where we dispatched Man United by 3-0. It was very, very similar, but it was a lot more contained, and that was really, really nice to see. Spurs really weren't at the races, you know, they didn't play as well as they could play, but you can't take anything away from the sheer
fantastic performance that was Arsenal. You know, Arsenal played to 100% of what they can actually do, where Spurs were probably at 80, you know, 70%, 80% fit. Dele Alli had an absolutely shocking game. Harry Kane isn't fully fit. But it doesn't take away from the fact of how brilliant, you know, Arsenal were. They were absolutely incredible. You know, and in the second half, it was a very, very controlled game. You know, Spurs brought on Llorente for Dele Alli. Son came on for Harry Kane. And Harry Winks came on for Moussa Dembele. And you're just sitting there thinking that if Spurs get one goal back, then it will be a completely different game. But Arsenal stifled Spurs. They had a couple of chances. I think the only real major save that I remember Cech making was the 85th minute. Ball comes in. And Llorente goes to the header, he wins the header, Cech makes a really good save, it goes back out and Arsenal get it clear. So there was a couple of moments where Spurs looked a little bit dangerous, but we controlled it and we could have got a couple of goals, you know, here and there. What I love about Alexis Sanchez is that in the 89th minute, he goes through and he loses, well, Lloris comes out and then the ball's going out for throw, he tries to go and he literally just looks like he's celebrating. He goes for a goal celebration to try and win that ball back and he was absolutely superb today. I think Ozil was 10 out of 10. Sanchez, 9 out of 10. Lacazette, 8 out of 10. Everybody else either got an 8, 9 or 10 out of 10. They were absolutely superb. The only thing that kind of is frustrating and what I don't understand is, firstly, why can't we play like that every single week? You know, if we played like that against Watford, against Stoke, against Liverpool, we wouldn't lose firstly 4-0 against Liverpool. We would have, you know, got a decent result, and against Stoke and Watford we would have won, and that would have put us so close to Manchester City. As I said, and I said in my Living in the Prem series, and you know, talking about Arsenal's downfall, I don't think we are going to win the Premier League. We've got an outside chance of the title if we put something amazing together, like any of the top 6 have. But it's results like that which just frustrate me, because I think, where has that been? You know, all the time. You know, there's been so many times where Arsenal have not showed that, you know, work rate, workmanship, and you need, you know, you can have all of the flair, quality, and, you know, to be all like these majestic things that we know Arsenal are, you know, pacey, you know, being great passers of the ball, playing beautiful football. We know they can do that, but if you don't have the hardmanship, the workmanship to be able to track back and, you know, win the ball back and be able to be as good off the ball as you are on the ball, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to compete for the big trophies, because you need to have that balance. You know, you have a bit of both. Today we had that, and we had that in abundance, and that is what I don't understand. You know, where has that performance been? And when we've been in losing positions, why can't we play like that? And why did Arsene Wenger? Now, you know, I said in the Manchester City game, I understood why he didn't play Alexandre Lacazette. Now, though, what a big mistake that was. You had those front three playing at the top of their game against Manchester City and Liverpool. We would have been absolutely exceptional, and we would have had a much better chance against both of those teams, 100%. It's a good result. It is a fantastic result. I cannot take anything away from Arsenal. There is no negative points to Arsenal's performance today. But what we need now is, firstly, we can't get carried away. It is one game. It is one big win. We can celebrate. We can be, you know, happy. We can praise Arsenal, and they deserve praise and acclaim, you know, because there's been so many times on the internet where Arsenal, and particularly myself on this channel, that I ripped Arsenal to shreds, and I love Arsenal. You know, it's days like this that I absolutely, you know, freaking love this football club, the way that they've played. But it is one game. We've got to get consistency. We've got to keep wins going. You know, that's our first win against Tottenham for 6 games. We are now 11 games unbeaten in the Premier League at home. You know, we've only lost to, you know, to Manchester City. We've lost 4 games, but we've only lost 1 game kind of in the last couple of months, and that was to Manchester City. You know, next we've got Cologne, then we've got Burnley next weekend, and then we've got Huddersfield, and I think also we've got West Ham's quarter-final game in the Carabao Cup. So we've got a nice run of games going. Our next big game is on December the 2nd. We play Manchester United at, I think it's at the Emirates. Yeah, it is at the Emirates. So that's a big, big game. And at the minute, we are right in there. You know, we are a point now behind Spurs. We're level on points with Chelsea, who at the minute are winning to West Brom by a goal to nil, courtesy of Morata. I think Liverpool is still 0-0 as it stands. I will check the results once I finish recording this. But, you know, what I'm saying is that we are right in the mix. You know, we're competing for that top 4 prize. We've got an outside chance to title, and everything is looking good. We've just got to keep this consistent run going. And if we can play like that, if we played like that every single week and we still lost, like, you know, a couple of games here or there, I would not be mad, because every single one of those Arsenal players put in 110%. And if you can't be up for a North London derby, then you don't deserve to wear the shirt, you know, at all, first and foremost. It was a very, very good performance. It was a fantastic performance, and I'm so proud of the boys. I'm very, very, very happy. You know, Spurs are a great team. They weren't at the races. They had a couple of problems, but we were better than them. We outfought them, outclassed them. it was just, it was a fantastic performance. People are saying this is Arsenal's best performance of the season. Yeah, I do think it's Arsenal's best performance of the season. We played very well again at Chelsea, again at Stamford Bridge, and we only got a 0-0 draw. But that result is on par when we beat Chelsea last season 3-0, and when we beat Man United 3-0. And also when we beat Bayern 2-0 at the Emirates 2 years ago. Those are kind of the 4 performances, and Manchester City at the Emirates by 2-1 a couple of seasons ago. I could pick out those 5 performances are the best I've seen Arsenal play for a long, long time, and then that result today adds to that list. And on our day, if we could play like that every single week, we are going to be an absolute machine. We need to sort out Ozil and Sanchez's contract situation, pay them as much as they want, because they do deserve it, and I think we are going to lose them, but they deserve all the money in the world. They are absolutely brilliant, and we can add to that, electric front three. And if they can play like that each week, then I'm scared for Premier League defences that have got to cope to defend against them, because they were absolutely sensational. Big win in the North London derby. Fantastic win. Brilliant win. Absolutely brilliant. To beat Spurs is just absolutely phenomenal, but we've just got to keep this run going. I am going to leave Analysing Arsenal here today for you guys. I'm really, really happy, and it's just nice to do a really positive and upbeat video. Thank you, Arsenal. Thank you, Arsenal, for making my weekend. You are absolutely brilliant. Absolutely smashed it today. A 10 out of 10 performance from the Gunners, and I'm just so happy. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Check out my Living in the Prem series. Literally went up this morning, where I reviewed the Premier League title race, and you're going to see my preview to the North London derby, so you'll be able to see what I thought was going to happen before the game in that, and I also discussed Manchester City, United, Liverpool, Chelsea, and all of that. I've got a Foot Champions video out tomorrow, and I've got some new series on the way for you soon. We will rejoin you for Analysing Arsenal next week as we play Cologne on Thursday night in the Europa League, our final group stage Europa League match. I believe, actually, is it our last game or is it our second to last game? I'm not too sure. Let me have a look. I believe it's our last game. I'm not entirely sure. I will have a look right now. I don't know whether it's our last. So we play Cologne on Thursday, and yeah, that is. We play Batty Borislav on the 7th of December, so we've got 2 more Europa League games. So that is our penultimate game in the Europa League group stage. But yeah, looking at my schedule, there is a lot of special videos ahead for you guys. So make sure to turn on my notifications, all that good stuff. Let me know your views on the North London derby in the comment section below. But until next time, this is DJ Bagpuss signing out, and I will speak to you all soon. Take care, and see you later.